Hello, this is a tutorial for Love Cats by The Cure, and we're going to need, for the verse, we're going to need 5 different chords. The first one is an A minor played at the 7th fret, so it's the first finger on the 7th, second finger on the 8th, third finger on the 9th. So it's the same as this A minor but just different voicing. And then the next note we need to add is this 4th finger on the, what's that, 10th fret. Yeah, so just add the 4th finger there on the 2nd finger, 10th fret. So that part sounds like this. Yeah, I'm doing an upstroke on the 2nd chord, which is an A sus4. So this first 2 chords sound like this. And then I'm going to do an F, which is a bar at the 5th, and then the 4th finger on the 9th fret. And then on the upstroke I'm going to add this 7th fret on the 2nd string to get an F diminished. So those 4 chords. And then there's a slight variation the next time these 4 chords repeat, and it sounds like this. So the 2nd chord, instead of the A sus4 playing an A minor 7, putting the 4th finger on the 1st string, 10th fret. So playing these verse chords again, a bit slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. And those are the verse chords. For the chorus, it sounds like this. At least my interpretation does. So we have a C played the bar on the 3rd fret of the first 2 strings, and then 4th fret on the 3rd, 5th fret on the 4th string, and we're adding, making it into kind of a C9, but adding 4th finger on the 5th fret of the 1st string, and then pulling this off. And then D minor 7, so bar at the 5th, and then adding in the 7th fret, which I think makes an F major 7. So those 4 chords. So those are the chorus chords. The last chords we need are for the bridge, and I've got an E minor and an E minor 7, so adding in the 5th fret on the 1st string, and then we've got 2 chords we've played already, the D minor 7 and the F major 7. And then there's one more kind of clashing kind of chord before the final outro starts, and I think it's just it's like your F diminished, but just the 2nd and 3rd strings. it's kind of a clashing sound, but that plays just before it goes off into the riff. Have a listen to that and see if you agree. And finally we need the riff, which sounds like this. So we're going from 3rd string, 9th fret, to the 2nd string, 7th fret, to the 8th, to the 10th, then on the 1st string, 7th, to the 8th, to the 7th, to the 8th on the 2nd, and then the second part of the phrase, so it's the 10th to the 8th to the 7th, to the 8th on the 2nd, to the 10th on the 2nd, back to the 8th, to the 10th, to the 7th on the 1st. So and then it repeats. The first part of the phrase is the same, and the second part of the phrase goes down. So it's 10th fret on the 1st, to the 8th, to the 7th, and the 2nd string, 10, 8, 7, and then on the 3rd string it's 9, 7. And I think that's about it. I hope this helps.